Started off so well, 4-1 the first 5 ball games, but Sonny, things have happened in the last week to give them just 1 win in 7 ball games.
Injuries have been a problem. The Rangers much healthier coming out of the Boston series into this homestand, averaging 6.6 runs a game for those first 5 games. The injuries began to take its toll. Canseco and Clark have spent some time out of the lineup, and you wonder with a franchise-high 14-game homestand whether the heat has made a difference really in the last couple of games.
That very well could be, but fortunately for the Rangers, they had not dropped out of the race in the American League West. As a matter of fact, they're still on top by 3 games.
Well, Seattle came in here and said and told the Rangers, hey, you still got to consider us serious, and Kevin Griffey, of course, dominated that series. The Rangers will go on the road and play the California Angels. That could be a very important series also, but the Rangers' defense really has to improve from this point on.
Okay, well, tonight it'll be interesting. Bruce Hurst takes the mound again for the Rangers. He'll be opposed by the former Texan, Bobby Witt. We'll be back with game number 3 for you, the Rangers and the Athletics, right after this. Oakland, after winning the first 2 games of this series, Bobby Witt and Bruce Hurst matching up tonight. Rangers try to get back on the winning side of things here this evening. Oakland coming in with this lineup presented by Tony La Russa this evening. Left field, Rickey Henderson leads things off. Stan Javier is in center. Geronimo Baroa is the designated hitter. Ruben Sierra cleans things up. He's in right field. Terry Steinbach is behind the plate. Mark McGuire, just activated today from the DL, plays at first base. Brent Gates is the second baseman. Mike Bordick plays short. And the number 9 hitter is the third baseman, Craig Paquette.
A couple of teams struggling defensively. The Rangers last in the major leagues in fielding percentage. They have Gonzalez, McDowell, and Greer in the outfield. Palmer, Beltre, Strange, and Clark. Rodriguez, and Bruce Hurst with his 8th start of the year. Hurst 2-1, ERA at 6.69. And tough lineup tonight. All right-handed lineup. 3 switch hitters that are better from the right side. And McGuire, as Steve Bugby mentioned, back as Bruce Hurst delivers his first pitch to Rickey Henderson.
Rickey Henderson, a .263 hitter. The rest of the numbers on him, as you can see, Henderson missing quite a bit of play this season, sporadically with some leg problems, some back problems. Takes a strike to even things out at 1-1. Henderson relatively quiet during this series thus far. Rangers have done a pretty good job keeping him off base, but it's been the rest of the lineup that has given the Rangers the problem, specifically the number 2 spot tonight. Stan Javier and Brent Gates has done a good job. Ruben Sierra had a key base hit. Ball 3 is low. So Henderson, with a count of 3-1, trying to get aboard to start this game. He'll be followed by the aforementioned Stan Javier.
Yeah, I figure if you keep Henderson and Sierra off the bases, they have combined 2 for 17 in this series. Henderson with a leadoff walk.
Now Hurst walks his first man tonight. Henderson down to first. Javier coming up. That is not typical of Bruce Hurst, what we have seen in his previous starts. He has not had too many control problems. But Henderson getting the leadoff pass. Hurst has had good success against Oakland clubs in the past, but again, this is a different Bruce Hurst than compiled an 11-5 career mark against Oakland when he pitched with the Boston Red Sox. Javier bunting out in front of the plate, going to first with it is Ivan Rodriguez. Down to second goes Henderson on the sacrifice bunt. So something Tony La Russa did not do early in the ball game last night with Javier, that having him bunt, has him do it here in the first inning.
And not often you see a guy hit a couple of home runs one night and turn around and bunt the next evening. Javier with a big night last night, his first 2 home run night of his career. He drove in 3 runs. Tony may be saying something a little bit about that. Couple of home runs. I got to have you bunt tonight, kid.
Hang with him. But nice job. Here's Geronimo Baroa at 3-13. His first pitch to him, liced to left field. Toward the corner, Henderson around third will score easily as Gonzalez cuts it off. Baroa going for 2. The throw, they got him. Juan Gonzalez with his 6th outfield assist of the season.
We've talked about the bat of Geronimo Baroja. Very good bat for the A's this year. This is a 41st run driven in. And Juan Gonzalez, great job of hustling. We talked about that last night, that over the last several weeks we have seen a guy really turning it on in the outfield, and a very sharp throw to second base. Take another look. Able to stop himself, get a pivot and something behind the ball, all the way in the air, and plenty of time. Well, nice play by Gonzalez.
Oh, Oakland takes a 1-0 lead quickly in the first, but Geronimo Baroja, trying to stretch that single into a double, is shot down. Base is empty with 2 outs. Ruben Sierra at the plate. Sierra, of course, the switch hitter, hitting at .318 from the right side. Jim Sundberg alluding to the fact that this is an all right-handed hitting lineup, and the 3 switch hitters that are in tonight's lineup much better from the right side. The 2-0 pitch coming from Hurst. That's pulled foul. The breaking ball from the left-hander. 2-1. Ruben Sierra, the team leader, 16 home runs and 57 driven in. 5 of those 16 home runs and 23 of the 57 RBI have come from the right side. Hurst missing outside. It's 3-1. If Sierra should keep his first inning going, Terry Steinbach, the Oakland catcher, waits in the on-deck circle. Hurst back to the plate, off the end of the bat toward the right side. Doug Strange on to Will Clark. Oakland is gone, but not before they score a run on a hit. Nobody left after a half inning of play. It's Oakland 1 and Texas coming up. Oakland takes the lead quickly in the top of the first. The Rangers come to bat for the first time tonight. Here's their lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Odabe McDowell gets the start in center field. He will lead off. Rusty Greer is in right. Jose Canseco is the designated hitter. Cleanup man is the first baseman, Will Clark. Juan Gonzalez in left field. Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate. Doug Strange plays second. Dean Palmer bats 8th and plays third base. And the number 9 hitter is the shortstop, Esteban Beltre.
The A's 3 errors in this series have dropped from 9th to 11th in the American League. In the outfield, Rickey Henderson, Stan Javier, and Ruben Sierra. In the infield, first to third, McGuire, Gates, Bordick, and Paquette. Behind the plate, Terry Steinbach, and making his 15th start of the year, ex-Ranger Bobby Witt. Witt 4-7 on the year, ERA at .584. And Bobby Witt coming off a couple of strong outings last couple of games, just allowing 2 earned runs in 15 innings of work, although did not win either one of those ball games, picked up a loss. And he's making his 5th attempt tonight to win number 5.
And he has an early 1-0 lead. He will face Odabe McDowell to start things off. Bobby and Odabe, former teammates here. Former highly regarded teammates with the Rangers. Odabe had .323, no home runs, 8 driven in. David Holtz getting the evening off against Witt. McDowell in there playing center field. Bat thrown down the first base side. Lands about 135 feet from home plate. Fielded by a fan who will either exchange it for a replacement. Yes, he will. Odabe sending the replacement bat down there. Maybe Mickey Hatcher's give him a claim check.
An interesting matchup of McDowell and Witt, both first-round draft picks by the Rangers. McDowell in '84, Witt in '85, and there you go, almost 11 years later.
Bobby Witt out of the University of Oklahoma. Played his collegiate ball there, and the 1-1 pitch to McDowell, who played at Arizona State University. Down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
I mentioned Kevin Kennedy trying to juice the front of the order up a little bit by moving McDowell up there. David Holtz 0 for 9 in the last 2 ball games, was on the bench. Rusty Greer moved up. Also, Ivan Rodriguez moved up to 6th as Dean Palmer dropped to 8th. But the top of the order, The last 2 ball games is 3 for 37. The first 5, actually.
Witt back with a 3-1 pitch. And finds the strike zone. The count is full. McDowell trying to get aboard to start the Ranger first. He will be followed by Rusty Greer. Rangers trying to break a season-high 4-game losing streak. This is the 3rd time the Rangers have lost that many consecutively. Oakland, meanwhile, has a season-best 4-game winning streak. Payoff pitch. Popped in the air down the third base side into foul territory. Bordick and Paquette. And Mike Bordick makes the play about 10 feet from the seats. But McDowell fouls out to the shortstop, Mike Bordick, to start things off for the Rangers. Here's Rusty Greer. Numbers for Rusty at 3 1/4, couple of home runs, 19 driven in. He has battled back from a slump that saw him get his average right down to the 300 mark. 1 ball, no strikes. For a young man who seeing his first tour of duty at the major league level to bottom out at 300 is not too bad. If that's where you're going to bottom out, it's a pretty good spot to do it. Witt okays the sign, back for the 1-1. Breaking ball hit well to right field, but playable for Sierra or Javier. It'll be Stan Javier to make the catch, and there are 2 gone. So Witt retires the first 2 Rangers he faces. Now Jose Canseco. Canseco coming back from all the injury problems of the last few years, and specifically the elbow injury last year. And he has rebounded with some monster numbers. You saw them thus far, 311, 19 home runs, 63 driven in. Witt's first pitch to him. It is a strike to the outside corner, says Rocky Rowe.
I talked to Jose prior to the game about his hip, and a hip really giving him a lot of problems. And there really has been trying to adjust to his stance at the plate. Seemed really leaning back on that back leg. Opened up a little bit. Actually looks like a little bit wider than we've seen in the past.
The 1-1 pitch on the way. Canseco takes ball 2.
You also said last night that it makes him very vulnerable to the outside pitch because he's opened up, leaning on that back foot. It looks like he's a middle-in fastball type hitter, and we'll see if the A's don't work him away.
Target set outside. Fastball pulled on the ground to Bordick. Easy play, and the Rangers are gone in order in the first. We have finished 1 at the ballpark in Arlington. Oakland 1, Texas nothing. As we head to the top of the 2nd inning. A run on a hit in the 1st inning got Oakland a run. Also the walk to Rickey Henderson playing a large role in that run scoring 1st inning. Terry Steinbach at 270. 7 round trippers, 29 driven in. And Bruce Hurst goes to work in inning number 2 with a strike to the outside corner. Steinbach, a 3-time All-Star for the Oakland Athletics. Big breaking ball makes it 1-1. Always got the impression that Steinbach as a catcher has been a little bit underrated. Thought he's been fairly solid behind the plate. Underrated by by other teams, I think. Not so much fans. He has gotten pretty good fan support with his all-star appearances, but you don't hear a lot about Terry Steinbach, and you look at the numbers, and people don't steal much against Oakland. He does a very creditable job behind the plate. And offensively, he provides a pretty good threat in the bottom of the middle of the order.
Right. Career average at 274, and I think if anything, Buzz, probably the fact that he's not very durable. Only once has he caught 130 games. He's been hurt a few times, and that will tend to take away from any kind of notoriety. But I think a catcher no more in the 80s.
Broken back ground ball. Dean Palmer safe at first is Steinbach. Bang bang play at first. Palmer did all he could. Steinbach really got sawed off by Bruce Hurst. And Dean did all he could to get him, but just came up a little short.
Very difficult play for Palmer, especially at this point. The fact of having problems with his legs, his ribs, also his back. An off-balance throw, not a lot on it. Had trouble getting it out of his glove. You almost kind of wonder there'd be a time where he'd have to be careful about hurting his arm on a play like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Steinbach leads off with an infield single, and for the first time since the 30th of April, Mark McGwire gets an at-bat in a big league ball game. McGwire put up some great numbers, as you will note, the first month of the season. But then the same problem that bothered him last year, that stress fracture of the heel, coming back to haunt him again and put him on the disabled list for the better part of 7 weeks.
Now, we had speculated a couple of games ago they would be early in this next week that he would be back, but Tony La Russa decided to get him in the lineup with the Rangers. A couple of left-handers coming up, Hurst tonight and then Rogers tomorrow.
Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Pitch to McGwire. Bruce Hurst pulling the string. McGwire out in front. 1-2.
Now, the one zone McGwire very tough in is that ball down. For a right-handed hitter, most right-handers you can almost guarantee that they're normally high ball hitters, but McGwire a low ball right-handed hitter.
Toward left center field, coming on. Juan Gonzalez a dive, and he can't get it. Around second, headed for third is Steinbach. The throw not in time. And Oakland with runners at the corners as McGwire singles in his first at bat since coming off the disabled list. That ball hit down toward the end of the bat, and Juan Gonzalez just had to hesitate momentarily. Make sure that ball was not going to carry, and that cost him the chance to make the grab.
And take a look here. We mentioned the hustle of Gonzalez. And a great effort here to try to get to that ball. Did not react right away. A little slow in his break, but tried to compensate with the dive, then hustled and tried to get the ball to third base to get Steinbach.
So an infield hit and a little dunker into left center field. Runners at the corners, nobody out, and Brent Gates takes the pitch outside for ball one. Gates at .322, a couple of home runs, 18 driven in. Gates has hit all over the place in this series. Hit third last night. Well, he hit third both nights. I was thinking he hit down the order the first night, but it was Bordick that moved up and down. Gates dropped from third now to seventh with McGwire back in the order.
Gates kind of down in the order where he was last year. And McGwire, a big difference in this lineup. With him in there, he will help several guys both in front and behind him. La Russa started him off sixth in the order tonight. Not to really jump him right into that middle of the order.
Hurst back to the plate, and this is low and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Gates. Ran a .500 hitter from the right side of the plate. That is the situation here in the top of the second inning. Gates with 17 hits and 34 at-bats as a right-hander. 2-1. Infield single by Terry Steinbach put him aboard to start things off. He's now at third, pushed over there by Mark McGuire's base hit to left center field. McGuire at first. This breaking ball hangs high, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, strategy-wise, you almost forget about the guy at third base and try to get out of this inning, allowing just one run. With Steinbach at third, McGuire at first, you look for the double play. You give up the run at third.
Hurst to check of first, back to the plate. Drive well hit left center field. Going over McDowell and Gonzalez to make the catch in front of Odabe. Coming in to score is Terry Steinbach. McGuire staying at first. Oakland takes a 2-0 lead as Brent Gates with a sacrifice fly drives in his 19th run of the year.
Yeah, the Rangers able to get the out. You basically, when the first two guys get on base, especially at first and third, you try to stay out of the big inning, and Bruce Hurst able to get the fly ball. That'd be nice to get the double play.
Take into account being early in the ball game too, and it makes a difference. Later in the game, you might play it a little bit differently, but second inning, 2 runs is not an insurmountable obstacle. Mike Bordick, the .259 hitter, takes ball 1. Bordick, a home run, 22 driven in. Checking with Tommy Reynolds, the third base coach, to see if Tony La Russa has anything in mind here with McGuire at first and 1 out. And ball 2 is low. Here's Tommy. Oakland on this road trip playing extremely well. They're 6-2. Popped him up. Shallow left field. Esteban Beltre backing out there about 35 feet into left field. Makes the grab. That's the second out. McGuire staying at first, and Craig Paquette will come up. Before the Oakland third baseman steps in, let's take 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
Texas Rangers 94 on KTVT Channel 11, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Sellout crowd here at the ballpark in Arlington. They have seen the Oakland Athletics score 1 in each of the first 2 innings thus far. Take a 2-0 lead. 2 outs. McGuire at first, and Craig Paquette goes after the first pitch from Hurst, fouling it off to make it 0-1. Paquette hitting at just 138. No home runs, none driven in at Tacoma before being called up to replace the injured Scott Brocious. Paquette was hitting just under 300. And he skies this one to center field. McDowell starts in now, has to retreat. Ball carrying pretty well that way. But Odabe, plenty of time to get back there, and the side is retired. Oakland scores a run on a pair of hits and strands one. On to the bottom of the second we go. 2-0 Athletics. Lead over the Rangers as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Rangers retired in order in the first by Bobby Witt. And so Witt will face Clark, Gonzalez, and Rodriguez here in the second. Will Clark standing in, hitting at .379, 9 home runs. He's tied with Jose Canseco for the team leadership with those 63 runs driven in. Witt's first offering, high fastball, and Will Clark kind of half-heartedly going after that pitch. Fouls it away. No balls and a strike. Witt working quickly, misses with the slider upstairs. 1-1. Will Clark mentioning today that he just now is starting to feel halfway human again after being out with that intestinal virus. Lines this one hard to left field. Henderson starts in now, has to go back a couple of steps, and Rickey Henderson with that patented fly swat catch. One gone, and Juan Gonzalez coming up. A quick reminder, a program note to be sure and tune in to KTVT Channel 11 this Sunday at 10:30 p.m. for the Budweiser Rangers Report. It's hosted by Chuck Morgan. That's this Sunday night at 10:30 and every Sunday night. Chuck Morgan and the Budweiser Rangers Report. Juan Gonzalez. Tough night last night and a tough series thus far. He's just 1 for 13. Hitting .265 overall, as you will note. Bobby Witt with a 1-0 pitch. Got him to go after that slider, and it's 1-1.
You evaluate the Rangers at 65 games into the season, and you think, what do the Rangers need to do from this point on? And the offense pretty much on a high swing. They are tops in the American League average-wise. And Kennedy's club second in runs scored, and you wouldn't think the offense is going to get much better. If anything, it will die off a little bit. So what that will mean is a little better and more consistent pitching, and definitely better defense. The defense really hurting the club on this homestand.
And they're breaking ball. It's 1-2. The defense for most of the season has been inconsistent. And part of that, I think, is due to the numbers of combinations that Kevin Kennedy has had to use due to injuries and illness. With the exception of Manuel Lee before he got hurt. He and Will Clark were the only two stable factors in the Ranger defensive part of the infield.
There's several second basemen, also Lee and Beltre at short, and Dean Palmer's had a number of guys help him out at third.
Again, the 1-2 pitch. Tried with a fastball and missed just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think though most people knew that defense was not going to be the strong point coming in, that may have been the same as last year, maybe slightly better, but at this point it has not been it's been a little disappointing.
There's a shot to center field, and Juan Gonzalez has a 1-out single. Well, the first Ranger hit comes off the bat of Juan as he lashes a 1-2 pitch into center field. He is aboard for Ivan Rodriguez.
You like to see Gonzalez get the hit in the first at bat. He has been really struggling and pressing, and I think something that makes the evening a lot easier is to get that first hit out of the way. And might have a couple of guys on base coming up later on that he can drive in.
So Gonzalez at first. Here is Ivan Rodriguez. Pudge hitting at .290. 6 home runs, 29 driven in. First ball swinging. Slayer's back the fastball. It's 0-1. Barry Steinbach flashing out the signs, and Bobby Witt ready. A ball and a strike. The Oakland right-hander ready once again. Checo Gonzalez and Pudge swinging through that Witt offering to make it 1-2.
Rodriguez really in a pretty good form of his hitting. In fact, the last couple of series he has really handled not only the fastball but the breaking ball. In the previous series, the curveball seemed to be the pitch that he handled best. This series has been a fastball.
The count evens as witnesses outside to Rodriguez. Pudge having a very good, solid homestand. He has raised his average considerably in the first 12 games of this homestand. There goes Gonzalez. The pitch is tapped first base way. And McGuire fields it, takes it to the bag himself. Rodriguez on a run and hit. Kind of upset with himself. Looked like he might have gone after ball 3.
Nice play by McGuire, very aggressive. The ball starting to go foul. He came up the baseline to get the ball before it went foul. See how far outside and down the pitch was. Rodriguez making contact. See the ball going toward the line. McGuire instinctively moves up, gets the ball, and then tags the base.
Well, Gonzalez moves into scoring position with 2 out now, and Doug Strange will try to get him home. Saw the numbers on Doug. 228, 4 home runs, 20 driven in, 19 as a left-handed hitter. High and away goes ball 1. Doug hitting 248 from the left side of the plate. Witt with the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes.
Strange, one of the guys hitting well at the start of this homestand, and then has had problems of late. And all of a sudden, you hear the talk of Jeff Fry coming back, and will be back for the California series.
They expected Jeff to be back on Friday.
Right.
Of course, Manuel Lee eligible to come off the disabled list tomorrow. Witt's 3-0. Very high and outside. Ball 4. There are 2 aboard for Dean Palmer.
Well, 2 outs and a couple of Rangers on board. We'll take this moment to remind all the Ranger fans this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Texas Rangers. Any use of the pictures and accounts without the written consent of the Rangers and Gaylord Entertainment Company is prohibited.
So a hit and a walk in the inning. 2 gone. Dean Palmer to the plate. Runners at first and second. Dean at 233. Half a dozen home runs. 25 driven in. Rangers trailing 2-0. Bottom of the second inning here at the ballpark. Witt with a slider to the outside corner for strike 1. Bobby Witt, the Massachusetts native, now lives here in the Arlington area. One and one the count. Steinbach flashing out the series of signs, and Witt back to the plate. Ball hit to right field. Sierra going back at the wall, looking up. Goodbye. Dean Palmer, his 7th home run of the year, as he uses the friendly dimensions of the right field home run porch to put the Rangers on top 3-2.
Well, in the Seattle series, we saw Kevin Kennedy drop David Hulse in the order, and it was productive. Now Dean Palmer being moved in the number 8 spot, taking a little pressure off him and responding right away. Great opposite field power. This ball was gone from the time it was hit.
Dean Palmer gets the Rangers on top, and a little looper off the bat of Beltre, snagged by Bordick. One shortstop robbing the other. The Rangers are gone in the second, but not before. Dean Palmer's 3-run shot puts them on top. To the third we go. 3-2 Texas.
You're watching KTVT Channel 11, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Tonight's Toyota baseball notes highlights the Cleveland Indians as they set a new club record today with their 17th consecutive home victory. And Paul O'Neill has seen his batting average plummet. It's all the way down to 396 now, but it is a plummet considering he was at 478 at the start of this month. Rangers have retaken the lead, or have gained the lead for the first time tonight on Dean Palmer's 7th home run of the year, a 3-run blast. And Rickey Henderson, who walked and scored in the first, takes a strike to even the count at 1-1. Bruce Hurst back to the plate. Fastball. 1-2. Bruce Hurst has allowed 3 base hits, although a couple of them have not exactly been blistered. Breaking ball evens the count. Matter of fact, in this series, Oakland hitters have gotten base hits on some balls that have not done any damage to the infield grass or infield dirt. Not hit hard enough to.
Yeah, but the Sporting News they hit it with is it tore it up pretty good.
Have to use a dry edition instead of the wet edition.
Ripped out a few pages when they swung.
Hurst with the payoff pitch to Henderson. Got him swinging. Hurst pulling the string. Henderson becomes the first strikeout victim for the Ranger left-hander. Rangers baseball is brought to you in part by Champion Automotive Batteries. Quality from the start. Stan Javier to the plate. Does not have an official at bat as he had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Hurst just misses the outside corner. Ball 1. And a fastball at the knees evens the count. Talking about the road trip that the Athletics have had, Stan Javier, one of the reasons that they have played so well. He has had 3 home runs and driven in 9 on the trip for the Oakland club. This is their 9th game of the road trip.
And all that out of the number 2 spot. You get that kind of numbers out of the number 2 guy. Decent. The Rangers have pretty good success out of their second guy. That's been a number of different people, anywhere from well, actually McDowell, Hulse has even been in there, Strange, Greer, James.
In the dirt, the count is full now. Javier trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Geronimo Berroa, designated hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Hurst back with a payoff pitch. Got him swinging. 2 straight times on 3 and 2 now this inning. Hurst has gone to the straight change and gotten the strikeout.
A lot of confidence in you. You go to the 3-2 pitch and you see the changeup, not only getting Javier out in front, but also Rickey Henderson, the previous batter.
So Hurst with back-to-back strikeouts, his first 2 of the game, and here is Berroa, who had an RBI single in the first and was thrown out trying to stretch that base hit into a double. Berroa now with 41 runs driven in. Hammers this down the left field line. That's headed for the corner and extra bases. Berroa into second as Gonzalez gets the ball back in. This time no contest at second base. Berroa now 2 out of 2. Well, the 4th hit of the night for the Athletics, the first extra base hit off of Bruce Hurst. Ruben Sierra will come up. Sierra grounded out to the right side to end the Oakland first inning.
I probably wouldn't throw him a strike, Buzz, in this at bat with first base open.
Hit well to center field. Going back, McDowell is still going back, and he can't get there. One hop off the wall. Baroa scores. Sierra stops at second with an RBI double, and this ball game is tied at 3. I don't think he did.
Well, a hanging breaking ball isn't exactly the
That's true.
The kind of pitch I was talking about. Really hangs this ball in his eyes. And Sierra can get to the high breaking ball. The high fastball a little more difficult to get up to, but he's able to get up a notch and drive it into right center field.
Now Oakland comes back with 2 outs here to put together back-to-back doubles for a tying run. And now Terry Steinbach, who had an infield single in the second, is up there. And he lashes one to left field. That's a base hit. Sierra will jog around third and score the go-ahead run. Steinbach to second with the 3rd straight double off of Bruce Hurst. Oakland back on top, 4-3.
Bruce Hurst really having trouble with his pitches middle in this inning. One to Geronimo Baroja, now to Terry Steinbach. And really has not established his fastball in the inside part of the plate. A lot of his pitches have been fastball away, changeup away, and hitters have kind of leaned out over the plate. And Bruce Hurst not with the kind of fastball that he can get by with, leaving it in a spot middle of the plate.
Claude Osteen to the mound, and this AT&T call to the bullpen is brought to you by the AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you. Dan Smith, the left-hander, up and starting to loosen in a hurry in the Ranger bullpen. 3 consecutive doubles after 2 were out here in the 3rd inning, and Kevin Kennedy has seen his club's 1-run lead dissipate. Oakland has regained the advantage, 4-3. Steinbach at second base, and here's Mark McGwire, who had a base hit in the second. Little check swing roller, third base side. Palmer's off balance throw on target, and the side retired. But with 2 outs, 3 consecutive 2-base hits. Plate 2 runs. The A's strand 1 after 2.5. 4-3 Oakland. A 4-3 Oakland lead now as the Athletics strike with 2 outs in the 3rd to retake the advantage back to the top of the Ranger order. Odeby McDowell, who fouled out to the shortstop Mike Bordick in the 1st. Bobby Witt, who gave up a 3-run shot to Dean Palmer in the 2nd inning, delivers low and outside for ball 1. McDowell with an on-base percentage over 42%. Done a good job adjusting, I would say, from the first time around with the Rangers. I think the expectations for Odeby were that he was going to be a power-hitting star center fielder, and that put a lot of things in Odeby's mind that really didn't allow him to use his skills to their fullest advantage. And now a much more patient hitter, much more disciplined. Doesn't try to do as many things as he tried before. And he's, because of that, more successful.
And McDowell gives Kennedy another option in terms of the leadoff spot. David Holtz, who has struggled of late, and McDowell has been able to fill in.
3 balls and a strike to Odeby. He will be followed by Rusty Greer. McDowell drives one well to center field, but Javier has it measured and makes the catch. Odeby had a shot out there that looked like it just died. Thought that was really going to carry, but especially to that part of the park. But apparently not right now. So 1 hard hit out in the books for the Rangers in the third. Rusty Greer skied to center field in the first inning. 0-1. We'll catch you up on scores from around the major leagues in just a moment. Brought to you by Bud Light. First of all, in the American League, 8-2, Cleveland makes it 17 in a row at home as they down Boston. 4-2 the final. The Yankees over Milwaukee. They're in the 6th at Baltimore. The Orioles lead Minnesota 5-2. Continuing your Bud Light scoreboard in the 5th inning, Toronto 5-1 over Detroit. In the 7th, it's California 4-3 over Chicago. And in the 5th inning, Kansas City has a 1-0 lead over Seattle. Greer, a drive to right center field. Sierra going back at the track and makes the catch. Greer hits it hard, but skies to deep right center field. Ruben to his right, and there are 2 gone. Over the National League, and only one final thus far. Chicago by 2 over San Francisco. They're in the 3rd down in Florida, where the Mets have a 2-1 lead against the Marlins. In the 7th, Cincinnati shutting out Atlanta 3-zip. 5th inning in Montreal. The Phillies leading by 2 over the Expos. Scoreless in the 5th at St. Louis, where Pittsburgh is visiting. And later scores or later games on the West Coast: Houston, San Diego, Colorado, and Los Angeles. 2 gone, bases empty. Jose Canseco, who grounded to short in the 1st, takes strike 1. Canseco currently hitting at .309 as Bobby Witt comes back to the plate. That evens the count.
Canseco now at 264 career home runs, and of course much has been said about him early in his career about a possible Hall of Fame career. Last 2 years injuries have played a big part in the slow up, but you think at the age of 29 he'll turn 30 here soon. That he can put in 5 or 6 more solid years. At 30+ home runs, he's got 5 working on 6 30+ home run seasons. He might be able to turn some votes sometime. This has definitely been a great year to watch him play.
Yes, it has. Bobby Witt with the 1-2 pitch. That evens the count at 2.
And the one thing too about making the Hall of Fame as an outfielder, the standards are pretty darn high. You've got to really pump out some big numbers for 15 years.
Batting swinging. And Canseco gone on the breaking ball. The Rangers gone in order in the 3rd. We finished 3 at the ballpark. 4-3 Oakland. Now, before we go to the top of the 4th inning, let's take a look at who's hot and who's not. Brought to you by Mercado Juarez. Who's hot? Albert Bell of the hot Cleveland Indians. He's hit .518 with 6 home runs and 20 runs driven in during the 17-game home win streak. And who's not? Roberto Hernandez of the White Sox has blown his last 3 save opportunities. And Bob Tewksbury of the Cardinals is 0-5 in his last 5 starts with an ERA of 11.
And Dan Smith will come on for Bruce Hurst here in the top of the 4th inning. Smith with his 5th appearance of the year. Harry at 6. And Smith making his 3rd appearance in the last 10 days. So he will fill in now for Bruce Hurst, who was not feeling well as the game started anyway, and gave up 4 runs and 6 hits in his 3 innings of work.
But Dan Smith on as we start the top of the 4th inning. Brent Gates to lead things off. The first pitch to him is low and outside for ball 1. Gates had a sacrifice fly to give the Athletics their 2nd run. That came back in the 2nd inning. So Gates now with 19 runs driven in for the season, and takes outside from Smith. 2 balls and no strikes. I have a very special guest with us, and I'll introduce him to you here in just a little while. There's a strike. Gates at .322. A couple of home runs to go along with those 19 runs driven in. As Dan Smith comes back to the plate. Chopper foul outside third, and the count is even. Dan Smith trying to regroup from a string of injuries back the last couple of years. Last year, the elbow surgery, and this year hit on the elbow. A line drive by Will Clark during spring training. Fly ball, shallow right field. Rusty Greer comes in, now backpedals and makes the grab for out number one. Bordick popped out to shortstop and takes a breaking ball in and over for strike one. Bordick, a .258 hitter. Number 8 man in Tony La Russa's lineup tonight. Fastball at the knees on the inside part. It's 0-2. Dan Smith studying the signs. Now the left-hander goes to work. This is high with a pretty good fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith's 1-2 off the inside corner. Well, the count evens to Bordick. Line on Bruce Hurst, 3 innings of work, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Line drive right field, coming in a hurry as Greer, he can't get there. Plays it on a hop, and Mike Bordick has the 7th base hit of the night for Oakland, a 1-out single here in the 4th inning. The Bordick aboard. Craig Paquette now will step in. Paquette, a fly ball to center field that ended things in the Oakland second. Had a long look down to Tommy Reynolds at third base to see if Tony La Russa had anything in mind. Mike Bordick, a pretty good base runner at first. Paquette able to handle the bat pretty well. And Smith drives Bordick back with a throw. Left-hander with a letter high set to the plate he comes. 1 ball, no strikes.
We talked about the A's a little better with against left-handed pitching. 3 of their switch hitters better from the right side, and of course McGuire back, and of course the A's with an all right-handed lineup. But the Rangers with not much from the right side in the bullpen available. Whiteside with a couple of innings last night. The other 3, Howell, Carpenter, and Hinkie, all short guys. So Kevin Kennedy going to Dan Smith, his left-hander, here in the 4th inning.
You know, Sonny, with Hurst leaving as quickly as he did, or when he did, I should say, you have to wonder if there wasn't a little bit of a problem, or whether it might have been a precautionary move by Kevin Kennedy. It didn't look like Bruce took his best stuff out there with him. There's a base hit to center field. Craig Paquette shoots one right up the middle. Stopping at second is Bordick. So back-to-back singles. And the Athletics have runners at first and second for the top of the order. I'm not necessarily speculating that anything is wrong with Bruce Hurst, but I think with a guy coming back from the kind of surgery that Bruce had, you would tend to be very careful with him in situations where he doesn't have his good stuff and may not be in the kind of groove throwing the ball that he would like to be. Kevin Kennedy trying to figure out a way to get his ball club back on the winning track. We mentioned just 1-6 in the last week of this homestand. Rickey Henderson will step in. 0 for 1 tonight. He walked and scored in the first and was a strikeout victim in the third inning. So Henderson with a season average of .261 as he faces Dan Smith for the first time. As runners at first and second with 1 out. Showing bunt that pulls Dean Palmer in a bit at third base. And the appeal to Tim McClellan down at first, who said no, he did not go through with the bunt attempt, so it's ball 1. Smith, the check of the runners, and the breaking ball finds the inside corner.
Well, Henderson 1 for 9 on the series. The Rangers have pitched him well inside. They really busted him good, and then of course Bruce Hurst in his last at bat, pretty good changeup.
That fastball inside, but it's off the plate. 2-1.
A really good look from center field, just how small the strike zone can be on Rickey Henderson. We've talked about that. It's kind of been the theme for this series, just how small the strike zone is. And he will bend over and about knee to the waist about his strike zone. And always negotiating at the plate.
Rickey now real thrilled with that call by Rocky Rowe. Definitely was high enough. And Rocky thought it caught the inside corner.
Tell you what, if you can get that pitch on Rickey Henderson, you can have a good night.
2-2. Dan Smith back to the plate. Count is full. Henderson hitting that number 1 slot to be followed by the center fielder Stan Javier. Mike Bordick at second. Craig Paquette at first. 1 gone. We'll see if Tony La Russa on the full count turns them loose. Henderson not a bad guy to do that with at the plate. He doesn't strike out all that often. They're on the move. Pitch is chopped foul. I think Bruce Hurst showed you how to strike him out if you really needed the strikeout. That's to get the count full and then throw him a good changeup, unless you have an overpowering fastball that you can throw inside. He's a pretty solid hitter, though, anything out over the plate. Runners again establishing their leads. Bordick and Paquette. Again, they're on the move. The pitch, a call, third strike. The throw is dropped by Dean Palmer, and it hits Dave Phillips, the third base umpire. Cairns into shallow left field, and Bordick scores. Henderson was called out. Mike Bordick was dead to rights at third, and the throw looked like it was just missed by Dean Palmer.
It definitely was. It should going to be an error on Dean Palmer. Rodriguez taking the throw, going behind Henderson right there, and Dean just missing it. Davey Phillips almost rescuing the Rangers, and Mike Bordick still able to score. And Davey Phillips not feeling too good right now. Well, he took a shot from Rodriguez. Evidently, the throw from Rodriguez maybe getting in his shirt behind home plate.
Lost it in something. It'll be a stolen base for Henderson, an error on Dean Palmer, and that makes it a 5-3 Oakland lead. And again, the Ranger defense continuing to really hurt the cause. Here's Stan Javier, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Rodriguez really doing a nice job of catching the ball and going inside. Anytime a ball is on the inside part of the plate, you go behind the hitter, and you see the ball missed by Dean Palmer looking up prior to the ball getting to his glove. Already started to look to see where the runner was doing.
Dan Smith with a 1-1 pitch. High tight fastball. It's 2-1. Well, for Dean Palmer, this series in particular has really added insult to injury. I mean, he's sore enough physically as it is, and now he has had all kinds of defensive problems during this 3 games with the Athletics. A little looper that will reach the seats over the Ranger dugout. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith ready. A check at Paquette at second. 2-2. Popped up. Shallow left field. Beltre going out. Gonzalez right behind him. And Juan takes charge to make the catch. Side retired. A run on 2 hits. There was an error and 1 man left. After 3.5, it's Oakland 5, Texas 3. And here's a word from Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to the ballpark in Arlington. We mentioned a very special guest joining us tonight. It's Buck O'Neill, who is being honored here along with 5 other former players in the old Negro Leagues. Buck was a star player and manager of the Kansas City Monarchs back in the 30s and 40s. Went on and managed the Monarchs for a long time. Buck, I know you had a great career and you've got a lot of great stories, but I want to tell the folks, I think what I remember most from hearing about you is that you signed both Ernie Banks and Lou Brock for the Chicago Cubs when you became a scout, and that's two pretty good names.
That's right. And thing about Ernie Banks, I signed him for the Kansas City Monarchs in 1950, and then I signed him for the Chicago Cubs in 1953. And, you know, Ernie's right up the road in Dallas.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Matter of fact, we see him every once in a while when he gets a chance to come out here with his busy schedule. People in Chicago still mad at you about the Ernie Broglio for a Lou Brock trade? They think you had anything to do with it? They're mad at everybody else about it.
Well, I'd have been mad with myself if I had made it.
I figure since you signed him, they'd probably give you part of the blame, too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to have you in town. I know it's
good to be here.
Big weekend for you all. You and, let's see, Fireball Beverly and J.C. Martin. John Miles.
J.C.
Hartman, excuse me. Hartman and John Miles, Charlie Pride. There's a drive to right field off the bat of Will Clark. Sierra at the wall, leaps up and makes the catch. Sierra taking a home run away from Will Clark to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning.
Will Clark not quite getting all of it. And Sierra timing his jump just perfect. I'm sure a little extra sweetness in this catch for Sierra. That ball definitely would have been a home run had Sierra not got up there.
Well, Sierra, a great catch, and one gone for Juan Gonzalez. Will Clark coming away empty. Nice chop foul. Anyway, continuing with the guys, J.C. Hartman, John Miles, Charlie Pride, Earl Taborn. All of you are going to be honored this weekend here at the ballpark. As a matter of fact, tomorrow. And you're also, what interests me, you're also going to be over at the Arlington Marriott for a little panel discussion about the Negro League days and everything. Now you're on the special committee for the selection of the Hall of Fame too, aren't you?
The Veterans Committee, yeah.
That's popped up into shallow right field. Brent Gates back there to make the catch. I know people kind of wonder about it. I think Phil Rizzuto was finally inducted into or elected for the Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee. How long has that been a part of the induction process, the Veterans Committee itself?
Oh, I don't know exactly, but I probably more than 20 years. I've been on it 10 years.
Now, some very deserving people who might have been overlooked earlier have gotten consideration and gone into the Hall of Fame, which is great, I think, for the Hall of Fame. Two gone. Ivan Rodriguez at the plate, who is 0 for 1. That's fouled back. Let's talk about the days playing with the Kansas City Monarchs. It's in Kansas City. I know you all are legends, guys playing in there. Probably the best baseball that Kansas City had ever seen up to when the Royals finally got into the World Series. But those had to be pretty good days in Kansas City.
Great days, great days. When the Kansas City Monarchs were in town, it was actually a new town, really. Everybody was out. People were coming from all around, just like they come to see the Royals now. Omaha, Topeka, Wichita, St. Joe, people coming, all of them used to come to Kansas City to see the Kansas City Monarchs. It was a great time.
We'll pick that up when we come back for next inning. Right now, it's 5-3 Athletics. We'll be back after this. Back at the ballpark in Arlington, we're chatting with one of the honorees in tomorrow's day here at the ballpark, Buck O'Neill. And the Negro League legends will be honored tomorrow, Buck, along with 5 other players from the Negro Leagues, including Charlie Pride, a very familiar face down here. Always works out with the Rangers every spring training when he gets an opportunity. He'll be honored before the game tomorrow night. Be a pregame ceremony prior to the 7:05 game tomorrow night. Also, Buck and everyone will be over at the Arlington Marriott tomorrow afternoon. They'll have a panel discussion that will be open to the public free of charge. Goes from 2 until 3:30. And then there's going to be a public autograph session that will follow the event, 3:30 to 4:30. And there will be a charge for some of those autographs, but that'll be at the Arlington Marriott. That should be a interesting get-together for you all.
It's going to be good. You should have seen us here. We've been lying ever since we've been here.
Drive by Baroa, deep left field. Goodbye. And Smith getting up to Geronimo Baroa, and he lines it out of here to left field. That gives it a 6-3 lead to Oakland. He is 3 out of 3 tonight.
And a good night.
Well, Baroa leading off the top of the 5th inning with his 8th home run of the year.
Baroa leads the team in hits, 6 in this series, and this the biggest one yet. And he has been making believers of everybody in the way he swings the bat.
Well, Ruben Sierra will step in, 1 for 2. Buck, is it true that I know it is for Jim and I, especially for Jim, that the longer you're out of the game, the better you were when you played the game? Is that
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes.
I'm trying to calm him down, but you talk about lying, boy, you ought to hear him sometimes, some of the lies he comes up with. But all I have to do is say Rickey Henderson to him, and he starts shaking.
I can understand why.
Buck, who's the best player that you've seen? Does there one person that come to mind? Or
Without a doubt, Oscar Charleston. I don't have to quibble about it. I know Oscar Charleston is the best baseball player I'd ever seen, and I've seen the great baseball player. Yeah, Oscar Charleston. Oscar Charleston, what we say about Oscar Charleston is this: the closest thing to Oscar Charleston, was Willie Mays. That's the closest thing to Oscar Charleston.
That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
Well, Ruben Sierra lashing one down the left field line for a double. So a home run and then a double.
I know he's loving it, huh?
Yes, he is.
He's loving it.
Ruben has not had a whole lot of complimentary things to say after his departure from Arlington and the Ranger organization. And to come back and have a good series, I think, emphasizes his point, at least in his mind. Going back to the Monarchs in Kansas City, one of the, I guess, best known teams in the league for a number of years, and always had a great following in Kansas City, from what I understand. What kind of traveling would you all do? Would you play a lot of games in Kansas City, or would you go out on extended trips?
We would go on trips. What we would do in Kansas City, we would bring a team, say the Chicago American Giants, to Kansas City. We would play on Friday. We were usually off on Saturday night. We would play on Friday, play them a doubleheader Sunday. Then Monday we would take them maybe to St. Joe. Tuesday we would take them to Omaha. Wednesday we would take them to Des Moines. And Thursday we would maybe Columbia, Missouri. And then Friday we're back in Kansas City with another team.
Oh.
And the main thing about it is, with this other team that's coming, we would take them the other way, take them to after we played maybe the Monday night ball game in Kansas City. Now we're going to Topeka.
That's one out. It's Steinbach thrown out by Beltre. So you were really on the go a lot, not just
from Topeka. We would take them to Topeka. We would take them from Topeka to Wichita, Wichita to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City to Tulsa. You understand what I mean? But a lot of things we were traveling, but notice all those jumps that I was telling you. Wasn't any of them over 3 hours long.
Yeah. One gone for Mark McGuire. Sierra is still at second base. McGuire 1 out of 2 tonight in his return. The first time since the 30th of April. Rangers trailing 6-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. In case you just joined us, we're chatting with Buck O'Neill, who will be honored tomorrow along with 5 other veterans of the Negro Leagues, and a pregame ceremony. Also some activities over at the Arlington Marriott, a panel discussion, and then some autograph session tomorrow afternoon beginning at 2 o'clock. Buck, you got a chance also to do some coaching at the major league level, the Chicago Cubs. Could you compare at that time no, not style, but the level of play, I think, in the Negro Leagues and the major leagues? There's been a lot of discussion back and forth. How do you think the two compare?
Very well, because one thing, what actually happened, the best athlete in the world in my era played baseball. Baseball, football, and basketball was college games. Now, you couldn't make a good living at that time in those sports. So the best athlete was actually playing baseball. And now, we got great athletes now. But the thing about it is, the best athlete in the world just doesn't have to be playing baseball. That's the difference. We got the competition with the other sports that we didn't have. We didn't have that type of competition. But now, it's no greater athlete. There's no leadoff hitter any better than Henderson. You're looking at right there, one of the greatest that ever lived. And you see these other guys that nobody gonna hit the ball any farther than Canseco. You know, and so, but you know, as time goes by, everything that happened in my area, people are saying it's got to be better than this era. But the only difference would be the athlete, more or less, not the, oh, you're going to get some, but we got to divide that talent now, wherein before we didn't have to divide it.
Claude Osteen making a trip to the mound as some action will start of the Ranger bullpen. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, people now, I think, tend to forget about the competition between sports. You gotta look at Jay Howell. And Michael Jordan, I think, has brought out the point that, hey, he hadn't played baseball in, 13 years. Acknowledged as probably the best basketball player that maybe ever played the game.
Might be the best athlete in the world right now.
Could be. And trying to play baseball, he just can't pick it up like that.
Oh, of course, it's too hard. Yeah. See, baseball, think about baseball. See, you can be on your own out there. I mean, just like basketball. You got a guy going block out for you. The guy's going to do these things for you, going to set picks for you. When you get up to that plate, can't nobody help you. Huh?
You're right about that.
Good Lord can't help you when you get up there.
There are two spots on the field that happens. One is on top of that little hill in the middle of Diamond, and the other is with the bat in your hand standing at home plate. You have no help whatsoever.
And another thing, too, to Bud, when you were pitching, little something might come in your elbow. But one thing about it is, you're going to pitch that thing out because they had a sucker in Omaha might come and take your job.
You're right about that.
That was the big difference. Yeah. That was the big difference.
Did you get a chance Buck, to face Buzz?
No.
Hey, you just missed me.
Hey, I wish I could have. And one thing about it, let me tell you something. There'd have been a case of, I doubt if I would have gotten anything out.
No.
Yeah, because they had the great stuff. And could pitch.
Why is it that every time I'm sitting next to a hitter, he says, I wish I could have faced you. I'd missed you, but I wish. Like they want to hit 20 points or 30 points higher.
No, it's just that competitive experience that you know darn well you thought you playing with George Brett. You say, I wish I could pitch against him just to see how would I fare against George Brett. That's the competitive spirit. That's what makes the game for you.
That's what's so hard, I think, for people to really understand that don't have the chance to get that head-to-head competition. Nice play by Beltre. Buck, we appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on what's going to happen tomorrow in advance, since we won't be here. Love having you along. Good to see you.
I love this.
Always look great.
See you when you come to Kansas City.
Buck.
Take care.
Buck O'Neil will go to the bottom of the 5th. Rangers trail by 3. Hey, your McDonald's scoring summary tonight. First of all, Oakland got on the board in the 1st inning. Geronimo Baroa scored. Rickey Henderson made it 1-0. Then a sacrifice fly in the 2nd. Off the bat of Brent Gates made it 2-0 Oakland. But the Rangers came back with a 3-run blast from Dean Palmer to make it 3-2. Oakland came back to regain the lead 3-3 after Sierra doubled, and then a double by Steinbach made it 4-3. An error by Dean Palmer in the 4th inning made it 5-3 Oakland, and a solo home run by Baroa put the A's on top 6-3 in the 5th, and that's where we stand here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom 3rd of the Ranger order, facing Bobby Witt, who's retired the last 6 that he has faced. Make that the last 7. And Doug Strange fouls one away. Going back to the 2nd inning, Bobby Witt has retired 7 straight. Doug Strange walked with 2 outs in that 2nd inning. Witt has allowed only that 1 walk tonight. He has also struck out just 1. Strange, a tapper, foul ball, says Rocky Rowe. Terry Steinbach trying to jump out in front of the plate and grab that before it got back to foul territory, but was not able to do so.
It pays to be very quick on this play. Sometimes you can kind of catch it before it gets into foul territory. And Steinbach not able to do it there.
0-2 the count. Strange waiting. Bobby Witt has the sign he wants. This is outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Here in the 4th, it'll be Strange, Palmer, and Beltre to face Witt. Rangers trailing 6-3. Oakland already has pounded out 10 base hits. Brent Gates throws out his counterpart, 1 away.
Well, come celebrate Father's Day tomorrow at the ballpark in Arlington. All fans entering with a paid admission to the Rangers athletics game will receive a Texas Rangers watch, compliments of Coca-Cola. So come on out for the finale of this 4-game set and the last of the 14-game homestand as the Rangers take on the A's for Father's Day.
And since we won't be with you tomorrow night, in advance, happy Father's Day to all you dads out there.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Same to you. And happy Father's Day early to Dean Palmer. That's his 2nd home run of the night. Goodbye. Way up on the bank in center field. Sore ribs, sore back, sore legs and all. Dean Palmer put a charge in that, and it's 6-4 Oakland.
The Oakland A's 6, Dean Palmer 4. He has been everything for the Rangers tonight. Bobby Witt right down the middle of the plate. And Dean just going with it. Boy, he put a charge in this one. This ball hit maybe 430 out there. 430, 440. Ball landing dead center.
Wow. Had some pretty good carry on it. The 2nd home run of the night for Palmer. That's the Oakland lead to 2, and here's Esteban Beltre, who was robbed of a base hit by Mike Bordick. His first time up, takes outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Dean Palmer telling Will Clark, see, now you just got to hit him a little bit further. Will had one taken out of the seats by Ruben Sierra last inning. Dean Palmer said, no, you got to hit him where there's no chance of the outfielder getting him. 3-0, the count to Beltre. After Esteban, we'll go back to the top of the order. Order be McDowell. Witt's 3-0 pitch right down the middle. Sonny, you were pretty accurate on that. 431 feet. You were a foot off. You know, adjust your glasses a little
Not
bit.
bad for 431 feet, being off a foot. Not bad. I'd take it in golf.
Beltre draws the second walk of the game, issued by Bobby Witt. He is aboard with 1 out. And Odabe McDowell will step in. The home run tonight to Dean Palmer, his second of the evening, by the way. Bobby Witt now has issued 19 home runs in 86 innings of work. That is a bunch. Dean Palmer, though, will take him. Palmer now up to 8 home runs for the year. Here's Odabe, who is fouled out and flied out. Ball 1 is low. McDowell hitting at 316. Taking a long look down to Dave Oliver, the Rangers third base coach. 1 out with Beltre at first base. Rangers trailing by 2. Esteban trying to establish that lead. Mark McGuire holding the bag against him. Ground ball right side. Gates to second for 1. That's all they'll get. Beltre making sure that Mike Bordick couldn't do anything to make a return throw. So McDowell aboard. There are now 2 gone, and Rusty Greer will come up. Greer is 0 for 2 tonight. He's hit the ball sharply a couple of times, flying to center and flying to right field. Greer, as you noted, currently hitting at 319 after an 0 for 2. Odabe McDowell this year successful in 10 of 11 stolen base attempts. Ball 1.
Mentioned the Rangers last night not really using much of their speed on the base paths of late. Kind of on a hold here at 65.
There goes McDowell. Pitch is looped to left center field. Henderson in a hurry, can't get there. Odabe had to stop at second base. Didn't have to. He lost vision of where the ball was. With 2 outs, he could have just kept on going no matter what. But he stopped at second, so the Rangers with runners at first and second for Jose Canseco.
Now the Rangers able to get McDowell to second. Probably, as you mentioned, it should have been to third base. And the hit by Greer is able to get the Rangers a chance with Canseco up.
The Rangers now with 4 base hits tonight. 2 of them home runs by Dean Palmer. The 2 singles. Jose Canseco 0 for 2 this evening. He has grounded to short and struck out. Witt's first pitch. Popped up behind home plate, coming back. Terry Steinbach, but he runs out of room. That ball 10 rows up behind the screen.
Canseco really do 0 for 8 in the series. I'd like to see him pop one right here. They really need a base hit. Or a long one. I'd take that. They're kind of in that mode that we saw in April, where he's a little bit uncomfortable and kind of wrestling with his stance, wrestling with his stroke. A lot of unusual facial expressions. They go from cleaning house on Monday against Seattle to really struggling the last few games.
1-1 the count is Witt. Checks McDowell at second. Canseco going after the high fastball. It's 1-2.
Tell you what, if you're going to sit behind home plate, you got to be ready for the foul tip. Take a look at this. Youngster not looking. Even got that net up there, you still don't trust it.
I think he's left to go to one of the changing tables.
He's looking now. He's got his glove ready.
Breaking ball is just outside to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Witt in the inning has given up a home run, a walk, and a single. Has runners at first and second with 2 outs. An even count to Jose Canseco. Chopper behind the bag at third is foul. Picked off by Greg Paquette. Canseco will come back and try it again. McDowell returning to second, Greer to first.
I read your base runner to become more effective in giving signs, giving locations. You might want to watch with Terry Steinbach behind the plate for the Oakland A's. He will wait for a long time before he makes the move in terms of his location, where he's going with a pitch. He gives a sign here. Witt says no. Now he's waiting, then move right the last second. They're tough to give location. Of course, Canseco and Will Clark, a couple of guys that really will receive location and will try to pick up the signs.
3-2, so with this next offering from Bobby Witt, both McDowell and Greer will be on the move. And Will Clark waiting anxiously in the on-deck circle. And that's about as anxious as Will Clark ever gets. And Bobby Witt stepping off the pitching rubber.
Might have what happened. Odie McDowell moved with his foot back toward the base, which was an indicator to Canseco that they were going outside with the pitch. Bobby Witt saw it and stepped off. So let's do the signs over again. Now McDowell not making any move. He's not sure what they're going to do.
Well, what they did was throw it to the backstop over the head of Jose Canseco. Now Dave Duncan hurriedly out of the Oakland dugout. The bases are full for Will Clark.
Just a bit over his head.
Now, it wasn't a fastball. That's one thing I'll say.
It was fast. It was a little wild.
It looked like it was a changeup that he had ripped back, slipped out of his hand. Action beginning out in the left field bullpen. Billy Taylor, right-hander, up and throwing.
We're talking about giving signs from second base. And usually a base runner can do one of 2 things. Give signs with his head, give signs with his hands, or with his feet. And over the years, really the best way to do it is with your feet. It's less obvious. It appeared that maybe McDowell on that last series of signs with Canseco at the plate might have been given location.
Here's Will Clark, who had a home run taken away from him last time up by a leaping catch, Ruben Sierra.
Take a look here and see if Rusty Greer will give any indication to Will Clark about location. Now, if Greer moves his right foot, that means they're going outside. If he moves his left foot, he'll go inside. Not really giving anything now. Nothing there.
Fastball is low. It's 2-0.
Yeah, it could be 2. The base runner will give an indicator saying, I've got him, I'll give him to you. Might touch his hat, which would indicate to Clark. A couple of guys there know about giving signs. If he doesn't have him, he won't move. And that way, that's a sign to Clark he doesn't have him.
Drive to center field. That's going to settle in for a base hit. McDowell scores. Greer will score, and we have a brand new ball game as Will Clark continues his mastery of hitting with the bases loaded.
Time tonight, the Rangers able to get Canseco, Clark, and now Gonzalez all up in the same inning, and Clark delivering with a key base hit here to tie the game up. The thrill doing it again, and that'll send LaRussa to the mound, and Witt will be gone.
Well, Bobby Witt leaves with a couple of runners aboard. The Rangers have tied the game. Bill Taylor will be the new pitcher, and while he makes his way in from the left field bullpen, we'll take a timeout on the Ranger Baseball Network.
And we're back at the ballpark in Arlington as we are still in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rangers tied up on this base hit by Will Clark. Bobby Witt getting a ball out over the plate, and Clark driving it into center field. And he is pumped. Yeah, that's him. And making his first appearance in 6 days.
Bobby Witt back to the Oakland dugout. Not very happy with his performance tonight. He was cruising right along through the 3rd and 4th innings, and all of a sudden ran into problems here in the 5th. Had a 6-3 lead. Saw that evaporate. And now has 2 runners aboard that are his responsibility. Juan Gonzalez at the plate with 2 outs to face Bill Taylor. First pitch is in over for strike 1. Gonzalez, a base hit and a run scored in the 2nd. And he's also popped out to 2nd. That came back in the 4th inning. A 6-6 ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rangers looking for more. Juan shoots one foul into the Oakland dugout. It's 0-2. Scott Heeman, he's not worried about foul balls, though. He got the shin guards on. Making kicks, skate saves on everything.
This is a situation where they really need Juan Gonzalez. They have not been able to have the slugger with men in scoring position. And a strategy that you've seen of late, a lot of fastballs middle in down, and a lot of balls hit hard on the left side of the infield, right at somebody. Then they'll throw a breaking ball away. There it is.
And he pops it up. Third base side, foul territory. Paquette making the call on the catch, and the side is retired, but the Rangers come back with 3 runs on 3 hits. They strand 2. Will go to the 6th inning, deadlocked at 6. Before we go to the 6th inning, Dean Palmer, a couple of home runs, 3-run shot in the 2nd, a solo in the 5th. Geronimo Barroa, 3 out of 3 for Oakland tonight, a single, double, and solo home run. A couple of runs driven in. He scored a couple. And Bruce Hurst, who made the start this evening, lasted only 3 innings left after giving up 4 runs on 6 hits. But the Ranger offense has come back to tie this ball game for the 2nd time tonight. 6-6 the score as Dan Smith begins work in the 6th inning, facing Craig Paquette, the number 9 hitter. On the outer part of the plate for strike 1. Paquette 1 out of 2 this evening. He singled to center field his last time up. That's the story of the game through the first 5. Center field, and Odabe McDowell draws a beat on it to put it away for out number 1. Dan Smith retires the first hitter. Craig Paquette on a fly ball to center. Now back to the top of the order. And Rickey Henderson. Henderson twice has struck out tonight. He has also walked and scored. Smith misses with a breaking ball. It's 1-0. Fastball, good location. 1 ball, 1 strike. Henderson has been pretty hot on this road trip, even though the Rangers have handled him successfully. He's reached base either by a hit or a walk in all 8 ball games. And he has scored 11 runs, make that 12 now with the runs scored tonight in the 9 games that Oakland has played on this trip. Smith with the 2-1 pitch. Popped up, foul territory, first base side. And Will Clark right at the edge of the Ranger dugout. Ball hitting just past middle of the dugout and bounds into the seats.
I'll take a look at Will Clark on the play. I'll tell you what, if there's any chance of trying to get to it, he's going to try to get there. Got some help from going into the dugout. That's a game face.
That is. It's a productive game face, too. And Smith studying the signs. Now he's ready for the 2-2. Just a little bit outside, and the count is full. Henderson trying to get aboard with 1 out in the 6th inning. He'll be followed by Stan Javier. Payoff pitch is fouled away. And that will reach about the 8th row on the first base side. And we'll try it again.
Rickey definitely not the impact player that was several years ago, and not as consistent bat speed. But still definitely a threat, and need to be very careful to get him in a fastball situation and throwing out over the plate.
This one a towering fly ball to shallow left center field. And then centering himself under it, Esteban Beltre puts it away. There are 2 gone. HTH would like to remind you of our next TV game when the Rangers travel to Comiskey Park to take on Frank Thomas and the Chicago White Sox. We'll be with you Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. HTH, count on it for sparkling clean pool water all summer long.
The White Sox with 5 losses in a row now. They have really been plummeting.
Stan Javier takes a strike at the knees on the outer part of the plate. Javier 0 for 2. A strikeout, a fly ball to left field, and a sacrifice bunt. One and one. They started the night 4 games out in the Central Division behind Cleveland, and they're now 5 games out. Cleveland winning and White Sox losing. Smith okays the sign from Pudge, the 2-1 pitch. He went around. It's 2-2. And Smith in his 3rd full inning of work has allowed a couple of runs. And he will not here. He'll have an easy inning if Beltre can get to this ball, which Esteban does with ease. Side retired in order. First time Oakland has gone down 1-2-3 tonight after 5 1/2. The A's 6, the Rangers 6.
And we have tonight's Southwest Airlines trivia quiz. Babe Ruth has the most career home runs of any left-handed hitter in Major League history. Who is second among left-handed hitters? I'll give you the answer in the near future. You got it figured out, Buzz?
Yeah, I believe so.
He hit a few here. He liked hitting in the old ballpark. He taught me a few lessons as a catcher.
I'm sure. Ivan Rodriguez starting off the Rangers' 6th inning, a 6-6 ball game. Pudge 0 for 2 tonight, a couple of groundouts. A's finally held scoreless. Dan Smith putting them down in order in the top of the 6th. There's a drive well hit to left field. Going back is Henderson at the warning track and makes the catch. Pudge lining to left field to start the Rangers' 6th. And Doug Strange will come up. Strange walked and scored in the 2nd, rounded to 2nd in the 5th inning. Line drive, but right at Mike Bordick, the shortstop. Well, the Rangers have hit the ball right on the button here in the 6th inning, but had nothing to show for it except 2 outs.
We'll come right back with the Southwest Airlines trivia quiz. Babe Ruth has the most career home runs of any left-handed hitter in Major League history. Who is second among left-handed hitters? The answer, Reggie Jackson. Ex-Oakland A's helped lead them to 3 World Championships back in the early 70s. 563.
Dean Palmer having a pretty good night. 2 for 2. Both of them have left the ballpark. He has 4 runs driven in. Couldn't get that breaking ball from Bill Taylor. It's 0-2 very quickly. Dean had come into this ball game just 1 for 11 with only 2 RBI in his last 11 ball games. He has changed that around here a bit tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. Ball hit up the middle, base hit. Palmer 3 out of 3. And a cute one, the middle of the Oakland defense by the diving Mike Bordick. Well, Palmer with his 3rd hit of the evening keeps the 6th inning alive for the Rangers and brings up Esteban Beltre. Beltre is lined to short and walked tonight. 0 for 1 officially. 261 the season batting mark, but Beltre in his last 11 games has hit nearly 360. And Tony La Russa going to the mound. He wants to talk to both Steinbach and Taylor. Vince Horstman, left-hander, throwing in the pen. This strategy session certainly wasn't a social visit. Tony didn't make those during the game. Now they're set to go. Palmer at first base, 2 outs. It's to Beltre, is a strike.
Hey, what, Bill Taylor, nasty, comes down 3/4. You got that long, lanky body, and then will flip a breaking ball on a sidearm breaking pitch. You see why his numbers are so effective.
There's the breaking ball that's looped into left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Palmer motors into 3rd, and the Rangers with 2 outs now have runners at the corners for Oddibe McDowell.
A nice at bat by Esteban Beltre. We'll show you the sidearm pitch, and Beltre right on this breaking pitch. He's off the plate, kind of bailing, but yet able to extend his arms and flip the ball to the outfield.
That's a pretty impressive at bat by the Rangers shortstop.
Yes.
And Tony La Russa coming out again, so that's going to do it for Bill Taylor. Vince Horstman will come on. Rangers and the Athletics tied at 6. The Rangers have runners at the corners and 2 outs in the 6th. Vince Horstman will be the new pitcher, and we will take another timeout on the Ranger Baseball Network.
We're back at the ballpark in Arlington. Dennis Eckersley look-alike. Pretty similar. I mean, that's pretty good. He could make some dollars trying to imitate Eck.
1 or 2 hitter affair each time out. Action behind Vince Horstman. Mark Aker up and throwing once again. He pitched in last night's contest. But right now, Vince Horstman facing Odeby McDowell, runners at the corners. A 6-6 ball game in the bottom of the 6th. McDowell 0 for 3 tonight, although he has scored a run. He reached a fielder's choice in the 5th and came around to score that inning. It's ball 1 from Horstman. McDowell currently hitting at .311. And a .322 hitter over his last 16 ball games. Horstman back to the plate with a strike. Odeby called up from Oklahoma City. Actually had his contract purchased on April the 25th. Replacing Rob Ducey. At the time he was struggling. And Odeby had an immediate impact on the ball club. Line to right field. That's going to be a base hit. The Rangers will take the lead as Palmer scores McDowell the RBI single. It is 7-6 Texas.
Well, you wonder how much a manager plays a part in a victory, and Tony La Russa will tell you, because he has used a lot of different orders in his managing time. But Kevin Kennedy putting McDowell up in the leadoff spot tonight, and it is paying dividends. Not only the base hit here, Rusty Greer played a part in last inning's score, and also Dean Palmer, who was moved down a couple of home runs tonight. So the lineup shift has paid off.
McDowell with his 9th RBI of the season. The Rangers, for the 3rd time tonight, reclaim the lead. And here's Rusty Greer with runners at 1st and 2nd. Greer 1 for 3 with a run scored. Single last inning. Beltre at 2nd, McDowell at 1st. Horstman to the plate. Ground ball to McGuire. And that will take care of the Rangers in the 6th inning. But they put together 3 2-out base hits for a run. And we'll go to the 7th. The Rangers 7, the Athletics 6.
Mark in Arlington, Jay Howe will come on for the Rangers. This is his 26th appearance of the year. 3-1. ERA has come down to .693 over the last 9 appearances. He allowed just 1 earned run in that time period, covering 9 innings. See, you, me, and Burchett don't add up to that many.
So Jay Howell on to face Geronimo Berroa, who leads off the 7th inning. Berroa, a triple shy of the cycle tonight. The first pitch to him, big breaking ball, dips in and over. You know, I'm not so sure I would classify the last outing as having trouble for Jay Howell. He gave up the ground ball base hit to Ruben Sierra that put the Athletics ahead the other night, but it wasn't that bad of a pitch, and Ruben certainly didn't crush it. He then walked Baroa and got a ground out from Terry Steinbach. But
yeah, the hit and the walk in a third of an inning, and I think it's one of those things.
It wasn't like it was earlier in the year. Anyway.
Exactly. Can't really classify it as a bad outing.
Good fastball to Baroa. It's 2-2.
I think in talking with Jay, there was a sense that he had kind of lost a little bit of the touch that he had that started in Milwaukee and went through the whole road trip and then into the first part of the homestand.
The fastball fouled out of play. Still 2-2. I think more than anything else, the timing was just bad to give up a seeing eye base hit. It's that more than anything else spoiled the appearance. Right now trying to protect a 7-6 Ranger lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Howell with the 2-2. Chopper hit to short. Beltray throws out Baroa, who is finally retired this evening. And one away for Ruben Sierra.
A special event coming up next month at the ballpark in Arlington. Celebrate the 4th of July. And the Rangers host the Detroit Tigers. Game time is 7:35. Immediately following the game, enjoy a spectacular fireworks display courtesy of Miller Lite.
When was the last time we were here on the 4th of July? Does it seem like it's been a long time? I don't recall.
Almost a year.
At least a year, yeah. Thank you. Ruben Sierra fouls one back. Well, I know where to go.
I stunned you for once.
I know where to go for an answer. When I need a tough question answered, I know where to go now.
Well, you're right. My anniversary's on the 3rd of July, and I'm never home for that.
It's not your 60th, is it?
No.
Janet probably thinks it seems like it.
It has been a honeymoon for, is it 23 or 24?
Yeah.
It has been a honeymoon.
You just ruined what was going to be a real good line. Sierra shoots one down the left field side. That will slice back into the seats. Out of play. It is 0-2. I was real proud of there for a second.
Well, you lose track after about 20. From then on, you kind of do the best you can. And
boy, you are digging yourself in deep now. Howell back to Sierra. High-tight fastball. 1-2 now. Ruben this evening, a pair of doubles, a run scored, and a run driven in. He's 2 out of 3. First time to face Jay Howell, and Rangers turning Sierra back to the side, which she has had less success at the left side of the plate.
I wonder if she's looking when she caught it. We'll take a look.
Yeah. That's a catch.
That's a pretty good snap right
Sure
there.
is. Now ball Strange to his right. Strong throw, and they get Sierra by half a step. Ruben pleading his case just a little bit to Tim McClellan. But Doug Strange with a fine play. That is out number 2.
Well, Sierra sniffed the base hit. He got out of the batter's box well, knowing that he hit the ball up the middle would be a tough play for Doug Strange. And looked like he just barely got Sierra. Nice play by Doug Strange and stretched by Will Clark. We'll send Sierra back.
The 2 gone, bases empty. Terry Steinbach swinging through a breaking ball for strike 1. What did you say, Ruben? Put your hat back on. Is that what you said?
Well, I hit my talk button there.
Steinbach 2 for 3 tonight. Shoots this one to right field. Very playable. Rusty Greer getting over under it. And the side retired in order, so Jay Howell works a perfect 7th inning. And we'll go to the stretch half of this ball game. It is the Rangers by 1.
Aker with his 15th appearance. Rangers holding on to a 1-run lead. He's 3-0 with ERA at 3.21, making his 3rd appearance really in the last 4 games. 2nd of this series. The 6'8" right-hander will work to the middle of the Ranger lineup. Canseco, Clark, and Gonzalez.
Well, the Rangers with the big man up here in the 6th inning. Canseco has walked, struck out, and grounded out. 0 for 2 officially tonight. And Mark Aker goes to work. Fastball, strike 1. Couple of defensive changes. Eric Fox has entered the ball game to take over in center field for Stan Javier. Javier moving to the infield to take over at first for Mark McGuire, who has left the ball game. The 0-1 pitch coming to Canseco. That evens the count as Aker misses with a breaking ball. Jose Canseco, despite being 2 for his last 14, hitting .457 in the last dozen ball games. That's his entire homestand. Ooh, he had a rip at that pitch. Shaking his head in disgust that he missed it. Looked like that was the pitch he was looking for. You never have to wonder whether Jose is pleased or displeased with himself. He'll let you know somehow. 1-2 pitch. Kind of a defensive swing, and he shoots it foul behind home plate.
Now, strategy has stayed pretty true through this whole series. The A's trying to stay away from him whenever they've gotten a ball on the inside part or made a mistake. He's had a pretty good cut. That last pitch, again, a ball away that he just kind of deflected. Again, the A's going outside. And there again, the ball, a mistake coming middle in that he had a rip at. He almost ripped Dave Oliver in half.
Come on, Ollie, you got to catch those.
You got to have not only good hands for an infielder, but quick feet, and he was once a pretty good infielder.
Again, the 1-2 offering from Mark Aker. And the count is now even to Canseco. And before the 2-2 pitch comes to Canseco, let's take 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Texas Ranger Baseball Network.
This is KTVT Channel 11, Fort Worth, Dallas.
A sold-out ballpark in Arlington. Rangers leading 7-6 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mark Aker facing Jose Canseco, and the count is now full. So Canseco trying to get aboard to begin the Rangers' 7th. He will be followed by Will Clark.
You might ask, why does a batter ask for the ball checked anytime it goes into the dirt? And basically, anytime the ball gets scuffed, if a pitcher is able to use that, you can really make the ball move considerably.
Popped up on the right side. Javier and the second baseman Brent Gates. Gates calling Javier off, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
It's not so much that the ball gets dirty, but hitters a little leery if the ball does get scuffed and a pitcher knows what to do with it. They can make it move quite a bit. As it, you get a big grin on your face. Sounds like you've done that before.
No. Not me.
I had a ball one time that the ball was cut so bad they couldn't even throw it back at the pitcher.
Will Clark flashes it out of play.
I tried to get it out there. You know, it was one of those cupped end bats, and the ball hit and deflected into my glove, and I went to throw it back, and it just kind of like a wiffle ball going out there.
I used to find that was the only advantage I had after giving up a double in Kansas City. If it hit on the warning track, I get the ball back, and the next hitter was going to see some funny looking pitches. Clark thrown out. He is now 1 for 4, and there are 2 gone in the Rangers' 7th inning.
Rangers baseball is brought to you in part by All Sport Body Quencher. The game will never be the same.
Bases empty and 2 away for Juan Gonzalez. Juan a single and 3 trips to the plate, a run scored. Breaking ball, 1-0. Juan now 2 for his last 16. Let's go back over the longer stretch. Over this homestand primarily, he's been a .315 hitter with 11 runs driven in. Looks at a strike on the inner part of the plate. Markaker okays the sign, and the tall right-hander. He's back to Juan with an off-speed pitch. It's 1-2.
We talked about the problems that Gonzalez had with men in scoring position. He has 2 hits in the last 3 games, and both have been without anybody on base.
Long drive, but well fouled down the left side.
And I think a year is just going to be tough for the young right-hand power hitter who has been fighting the expectation of a new contract, and but the kind of year where he's going to drive in 100 runs and probably be disappointed.
Again, the 1-2 pitch. Chop foul. I really think until he starts driving the ball the opposite way that he's going to continue to have trouble. And the Juan Gonzalez we've seen that has been consistently productive is the one who hits the ball to right center and right field. He's not always going to be able to lay off the breaking ball, but at least if it's a fastball out there, he's able to hit it hard the other way. And right now he can't do that. Two balls and 2 strikes. Not much doubt, as strong as Juan is, that this ballpark is not too big for him anywhere. But to make consistent contact is the big thing, and Juan's not doing that right now. Pop foul. That will reach the seats over the Ranger dugout. Two and 2 with 2 outs. Bases empty. Rangers leading 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Aker back to Gonzalez. Loop down the right field line and foul. Well, Juan back to the plate after getting one on the fists and he shoveled down the right side. Steinbach flashing the signs, and Aker ready. In the dirt, the count is full. Juan Gonzalez trying to get aboard here with 2 outs. Ivan Rodriguez waiting to be next.
Well, Gonzalez late on the last couple of fastballs that Mark Aker has thrown, and since Aker threw the breaking pitch in the dirt on the last pitch, going to kind of turn it up a notch and try to get around on the fastball.
Payoff delivery. Popped him up. He took something off that, and Stan Javier in foul territory makes the catch. So the Rangers are retired in order. We're going to the 8th inning at the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers leading Oakland 7-6. Rangers baseball is brought to you in part by Taco Bueno. Go for it all. Jay Howell back to the mound, finishing his warm-up tosses before we go to the top of the 8th inning. It will be Eric Fox, Brent Gates, and Mike Bordick to face the Ranger right-hander. The story in the ball game through the first 7 innings. 7-6. Rangers leading despite being out-hit 10-8. Jay Howell came on to start the 7th inning. Got Baroa and Sierra to ground out, Steinbach to fly out. And now Eric Fox will get an opportunity to bat for the first time tonight. Part of the sellout crowd on hand here, better than 46,000 tonight. Watching the 3rd game of this 4-game weekend set. Rangers and A's will conclude things tomorrow evening. 7:05 affair. It'll be Steve Ontiveros for Oakland and Kenny Rogers for the Rangers, and the Rangers on the road for 9 games in 11 days. Starting Monday. Eric Fox, first ball swinging, pops it up. Will Clark near the on-deck circle, puts it away, so 1 pitch and 1 gone.
And Steve Ontiveros for the A's really has thrown the ball very well since moving into the rotation in place of Bobby Welch. And that'll be a game the Rangers will have to try to go against some pretty good competition the way he's thrown.
Brent Gates 0 for 2. He has had a sacrifice fly that came back in the 2nd inning. It's also fly to right and line to center field. Gates, a .318 hitter. Upped his RBI total to 19, and Howell delivers a strike on the outside corner. The North Texas Ford dealers like to bring you scores from around the major leagues. In the American League, Cleveland 8-2 past Boston. Yankees 4-2 over Milwaukee, and Baltimore 11-6 over Minnesota. In the 10th inning, Detroit and Toronto are tied at 5. California defeated Chicago 4-3 to keep the White Sox reeling. And Seattle came back to down Kansas City 3-1. Over in the National League, Chicago 6-4 over San Francisco. They're in the 8th at Florida, where New York leads the Marlins 8-3. 16-0. Cincinnati pounds Atlanta. Final from Montreal, Philadelphia wins by 4. They have a rain delay in St. Louis, a scoreless ball game. Pirates and Cardinals in the 5th. In the 4th, it's San Diego, 1-1 between the Astros and the Padres. In the 3rd, at Dodger Stadium, the Rockies leading LA 3-0. Gates fouls it out of play on the 3rd base side. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here at the ballpark in Arlington, the Rangers leading 7-6, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They have found themselves now 2 games under 500 here at their new facility. Ground ball, Dean Palmer behind the bag at 3rd. Across the diamond, they're a 2 away. Base is empty. Mike Bordick steps in. Bordick 1 for 3, a single and a run scored tonight. Other than that, he has popped out and grounded into a fielder's choice. Howell's first pitch, that big breaking ball, hooks its way in and over.
The A's with a couple of nice young players up the middle at second base, Brent Gates and then Mike Bordick. Gates, good numbers last year. Bordick the year before, 92, hit 300. And the two really with some pretty good talent. And figure if they can put it together in 1 year, it makes a nice combination up the middle. A couple of guys that handle the glove well.
A couple scrappy little players.
Yeah.
Not exactly flashy, but boy, they'll make the plays for you. Battle you every step of the way. A ball and 2 strikes is Jay Howell. This is with the curveball outside. Jay Howell's retired all 5 Oakland hitters that he has faced thus far. Back with a 1-2. Tried the breaking ball again and missed, and that evens the count. Bordick, a home run and 22 driven in this year. Howell's next offering. Fly ball, shallow left field, going out. Beltre coming on Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez taking charge to make the catch. And Jay Howell has worked 2 perfect innings. We are through 7.5 at the ballpark. The Rangers leading Oakland 7-6.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rangers holding on to a 1-run lead. John Briscoe will come on for the A's, his 26th appearance. Good numbers, 2-2 ERA at 3.51. One of the members with a save. 30 strikeouts and just 21 hits allowed in 33 in the 3rd innings of work. That's good. The base on balls not at 29. And he will work to Rodriguez, Strange, and Palmer.
John Briscoe becomes the 5th pitcher employed tonight by Tony La Russa. Here's Ivan Rodriguez, first ball swinging, and he fouls it out of play behind home plate. Rodriguez 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice and lined to deep left field. He sent Rickey Henderson back to the auxiliary, or I should say the scoreboard. All in that line shot the last time up. That was in the 6th inning. A 1-1 the count. Rangers 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Oakland 6 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Rangers have stranded 4 tonight. Oakland has left 5. That ball well hit to left field. Henderson back at the wall. Goodbye. Ivan Rodriguez with his 7th home run of the year. A line shot with no hang time at all.
Well, he really went down to get this ball on the outside corner. We've talked about how good of a hitter he is away from himself, and he got his arms extended right on top and over. Wow, what a shot.
The Pudge with his 7th round tripper of the year. He now has 30 runs driven in, and the Rangers extend their lead to 8-6. Doug Strange 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and scored. He's grounded out and lined sharply to shortstop. Ball by Briscoe all the way to the backstop. It's 1-1. Doug Strange currently hitting at .225. Rangers now with 3 home runs tonight. Ground ball to second. Gates on over to Javier. 1 away. And we'll bring up Dean Palmer, who has the other 2 home runs. We mentioned the 3 home runs tonight. That comes on the heels of a stretch of 4 games in which the Rangers hit only 1 home run here at the ballpark in Arlington. It has either been feast or famine, it seems like. 5 home runs Monday night against Seattle. Then 1 home run the next 4 games, then 3 here tonight. Dean Palmer 3 for 3. 4 runs driven in, 3 runs scored. Check swing, and the appeal to Tim McClellan, who says no swing. 1-1. He may hit another one. Oh my goodness.
Now the Rangers beginning to get their bullpen loosened up. We'll show you the pitch that Dean Palmer just missed. Fastball, middle of the plate. What a cut. He had a feel about him. That was just about it.
That was the pitch. If he could have a mulligan, he might hit his third. That went a little further inside, and he fouls it off.
And Chris Carpenter beginning to loosen up for the Rangers. I don't know. I think with the way Jay Howell has thrown tonight, I think I might be tempted to set him out there at least to start the 9th.
Going inside, 2-2. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, although I'm kind of thinking toward tomorrow night and the start of a pretty good series in Chicago where you're going to need Howell. Of course, you could always, I think what I would do is run him out there if he put a man on, get Carpenter in.
Right.
And I agree with you, the way he's pitched. He hasn't thrown a lot of pitches tonight. He hasn't struggled at all.
I think what Kevin Kennedy might be thinking is along the lines you are, pitch Howell a couple of innings tonight, then we'd have him for maybe an inning tomorrow, and use Carpenter tonight. He has had 3 days off.
2-2 to Dean Palmer. Rangers leading 8-6. Thanks in part to the leadoff home run in this inning by Ivan Rodriguez. There's a drive, deep left field, down the line. In the corner is Henderson, and makes the catch in foul territory. Dean Palmer coming pretty close to number 3 tonight, but Henderson and the wind foil him in that bid.
Tell you what, he really gave this one a ride. Another mistake. Ball down and in, and the wind really cutting this ball up. And the wind blowing in from left field, almost out of the northeast, which where you get a little bit of your weather. From left to right.
Esteban Beltre 1 for 2 this evening. You can give us a weather report.
Yeah. There's some thunderstorms in the area, but they've been breaking up, moving uncharacteristically from east to west.
Oh.
Yeah, I grew up in the cornfields of Illinois. You know, when you could, when your toes hurt, and you can make all kinds of evaluations about the weather, depending on how your body felt.
There's a base hit. Beltre with his 2nd of the night. He's now 2 out of 3. Esteban Beltre continuing to swing a hot bat.
It smells like rain in the area. Didn't you smell it?
I didn't grow up in the cornfields of Iowa or Illinois.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. You were on the freeways of L.A.
Yeah, I just smelled smog. Odabe McDowell 1 for 4, but that one a very big hit, giving the Rangers the lead with 2 outs in the 6th inning. His RBI a single, play to Dean Palmer with the go-ahead run. And he takes a pitch low for ball 1. Maybe as significantly the hit coming off of left-hander Vince Horstman. Odabe now hitting at .320. He has 9 runs driven in. Beltre at first. And The pitch on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
The Rangers tonight able to get the big hits when they needed it. Clark tied the game in the 5th, and McDowell put him ahead in the 6th. It's something that has lacked in the last few games.
Oakland down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Rangers now in double figures with 10 hits. They have matched Oakland's total. In the important column, however, they lead by 2. That's the runs scored. Beltre, the lead from first. He's there after collecting his 2nd hit of the night. Briscoe, quick bluff move to drive Beltre back. Right-hander will go first base way this time, and Esteban back easily. Let's go a long look into Terry Steinbach, and too long for the likes of Oakland McDowell, who steps out.
Steinbach is called for a fastball up and away, so they're not really sure about a pitch out. They don't want to call a pitch out, but they want something up and away from McDowell. If you can give a number 1 sign, then give it to me up.
You know, to be trying to take it the other way. It's fine. I'll work with that pitch. Still 1-2. Beltre, who has pretty good speed at first base. He's staying put, and the pitch high and away. That evens the count now, and you might look for Beltre to be off with his next delivery. 2-2 count with 2 outs. You get in scoring position, fine.
You might see a breaking ball here, and Kevin Kennedy might be thinking along those same lines. I think if he's going to throw a breaking ball, you may see him throw over to get Beltre back.
You know, or at least do that quick step off. There goes Beltre. The pitch is outside. The throw is high, but they get him. Quick tag by Mike Bordick. Steinbach shoots down Beltre, and the Rangers are gone in the 8th, but they score a run on 2 hits. Nobody left. To the 9th we go. Texas by 2.
2-2 ERA at 3.03, looking for his 6th save on the year, and working on 3 days rest. He's had 3 pretty good outings in a row. And Chris Carpenter has allowed just 1 run over his last 9 2/3 innings of work here at the ballpark in Arlington, covering 8 appearances. Oh, Chris Carpenter trying to close it out for the Rangers. And Mike Aldrete will come on and pitch hit for Greg Paquette here in the 9th.
Mike Aldrete, a .250 hitter. He has 4 home runs and 13 RBI this season. Aldrete, the primary pinch hitter used by Tony La Russa. But he is just 2 for 17 in a pinch hitting role. However, both those have been home runs. But Chris Carpenter trying to close out a Ranger win that would snap a 4-game losing streak. Get the Rangers back on the winning track before finishing up this long homestand tomorrow night. Aldrete leads off with a base hit to center field. And that will take Oakland back to the top of their order. Well, the first hit of the Chris Carpenter face. Mike Aldrete reaches base, and Henderson 0 for 3 tonight will come to the plate. Rickey walked and scored in the first. Since then has struck out twice and popped out to short. Carpenter's first pitch. Slider to the outside corner. Henderson hitting at just .258 as he faces Carpenter here in the 9th inning. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. I think about a guy like Henderson representing the tying run late in the ball game. You cannot disrespect his power.
Right.
He is very capable of looking for a pitch and driving it out. And just in case, the Rangers getting Tom Henke up and loosening in the bullpen. Henke worked in last night's ball game. Ground ball, base hit right side. Andretti to second will stop there. And Oakland has the tying runs aboard with nobody out.
Got a guy coming up to hit 2 home runs last night from the left side. Stan Javier. Kevin Kennedy pondering over the situation.
Well, see how Tony La Russa plays it. Kevin Kennedy and his ball club expecting the bunt from Javier. Dean Palmer and Will Clark in at their positions at the corners. Good look at the Ranger defense with Beltre and Strange up the middle looking for 2. Javier chops one foul outside first. No bunt indicated there.
With Javier last night, the same thing happened, that he had him swing away on the first pitch and then turn around and put the bunt on after that. You take a guy who's been hot lately, especially hitting some home runs. You might catch a pitcher trying to groove a first pitch fastball, and Javier trying to jump on it. In fact, it was the first night, and it was Thursday night that Javier did that.
That's ball to the inside corner. It's 0-2. Again, showing no signs of bunt.
Tony La Russa probably playing the strategy you go for the win on the road, not for the tie. A lot of people don't like that type of strategy.
Carpenter with the 0-2. Line to center field. McDowell to his right makes the catch. Already back to second base. Henderson back to first. There's one gone. And Geronimo Barroa coming up. Well, the one thing it does when you're on the road, you don't have the advantage of knowing that you're going to have the last at bat if you need it. And I think that's where that strategy basically originated from. Play to tie at home and play to win on the road when it comes to a 1 or 2 run ball game. Home you can afford to be a little more conservative, supposedly. I'm not sure that is always the case. It always works that way, but percentages would say that you're better off doing that. Over the long haul, it's probably 51% to 49%. Pop down the right field line. Greer in pursuit, but this will tail back into the seats and out of play. It's 0-2. Barroa, who is 3 for 4 tonight. Single, double, home run. 2 RBI. Also a ground out mixed in there. Tying runs are aboard. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Carpenter ready, a check of second. Looper into right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And being held up at third is the runner now, Aldretti, coming in to score as the throw goes to second. Tommy Reynolds put the stop sign on. Aldretti fell down. The throw went to second. Aldretti got up and came in to score. And it's an 8-7 ball game.
And the 0-2 pitch hit off the end of the bat and flared into right field. And you see the runner being held up, and then all of a sudden Aldretti saw the throw going into second base and took off. We'll take a look at the throw. Rusty Greer bouncing the ball in. They had a shot at second base with Rickey Henderson, who came around. And Claudio Steen to the hill. Our runners at first and second, one out, and Ruben Sierra.
So the tying run now is at second. The go-ahead run is at first with one out. Sierra, who is 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles, is coming to the plate. Tom Henke ready in the bullpen. I have not heard an announcement. I don't believe that they would give Baroa an RBI on that, since Aldretti had stopped at third. Well, here's Sierra hitting at 257. Carpenter throws a strike on the outside corner. Henderson second as Carpenter checks him. And Sierra fouls back a fastball for the third straight hitter now. Chris Carpenter has an 0-2 count. And the results have been a line drive to center field by Stan Javier for an out. And then a base hit by Geronimo Baroa to right field. Both of them on 0-2 pitches. Now we'll see what Ruben Sierra does. You throw in anything you can get a bat on right here, you're doing him a favor. He does to right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Henderson being waved around. The throw into Beltre. Henderson scores, and we've got a brand new ball game. Three consecutive hitters. Chris Carpenter has gotten ahead 0-2, and is throwing pitches that were very hittable.
And for the second time in this series, Sierra getting a key hit late in the ball game. Rickey Henderson coming around to score the tying run. It's all tied up at 8. Kennedy to the mound.
That's going to do it for Carpenter, who leaves with 2 runners aboard, just 1 out here in the 9th inning. Tom Henke will be called upon to put a stop to this Oakland outburst. And while Henke makes his way in from right field, we'll take a timeout on the Ranger Baseball Network.
Tom Henke being called on. Henke making his 17th appearance, just his second since being recalled from the disabled list. 2-3 with the ERA at .517. 18 strikeouts in 15 2/3 innings of work. Good numbers there. Talking with Tom today, he was happy with his fastball. The ball that he threw last night to Stan Javier for the home run, he said he'd try to cut it inside. The ball came back out over the plate. Tried to use a four-seamer and cut it, and ended up going the other direction. But overall, he said he felt happy about his velocity up in the 90s and threw some pretty good split fingers. And so got the call in the 7th inning yesterday with the game tied, and now tonight.
So Tom Henke, the 5th pitcher used tonight by Kevin Kennedy, on to try and keep this ball game tied here in the 9th inning. Oakland has come back with 2 runs on 4 hits, all of them off Chris Carpenter, who worked just a third of an inning. Maroa at second, Sierra at first, Terry Steinbach, who is 2 for 4 tonight, single, a double, run scored, and an RBI, will step in. Henke's first pitch to Steinbach. 1 ball, no strikes. Steinbach currently hitting at .274. Henke set for the 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Ivan Rodriguez. It's 2-0.
I think he coming out of the pen, throwing a couple of split fingers. Rodriguez getting a little bit of work here. Nice block by Pudge to keep runners at first and second.
The big right-hander set again. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Following Terry Steinbach in the Oakland order is Eric Fox. Took over defensively in the 8th inning. Right down the middle. We have some more action beginning out of the right center field bullpen for the Rangers. Just in case Tom Henke has problems, left-hander Darren Oliver up and throwing. Fastball hit deep to right field. Greer going back at the wall. Goodbye. Barry Steinbach, an opposite field 3-run home run, and that makes it an 11-8 Oakland lead.
Tom Henke kind of pitching in reverse. Not a happy Kevin Kennedy. Henke coming out throwing split fingers and then having to go to the fastball. Normally it's the other way around. Throw fastballs, then go to the split finger. This ball right in the middle of the plate. Well, the Rangers in trouble.
Things have turned extremely ugly here at the ballpark in Arlington once again tonight. Well, base is empty, 1 out now, and Eric Fox takes Ian away for ball 1. Oakland exploding for 5 runs here in the 9th inning. Kevin Kennedy, Claude Osteen, and Jackie Moore, pretty grim faces, and rightfully so. Terry Steinbach, quite the opposite in the Oakland dugout.
What's bad about it is it's a kind of game that can keep you losing quite a few more games in a row.
Fox is swinging a miss. It's 2-2.
The Rangers working on, or have lost 4 in a row, and 6 of the last 7. And you take a game into the 9th inning, it looks like you're going to win. You go into it 2 runs ahead, and then all of a sudden the opposing club scores 5. That can knock the wind out of you for a few more games.
Got him swinging. Fox becomes the first strikeout for Tom Henke. There are 2 gone. And Brent Gates coming up. Brent Gates 0 for 3 tonight with a sacrifice fly. That came back in the second inning. Yankees' first pitch to Gates. Split-fingered fastball, strike one. Pitch. That evens the count to Gates. I think he's having a little talk with himself. Okay is the sign, the 1-1 delivery. A ball and 2 strikes as that is fouled back and at a play.
I think he's messing with his back. I think that'd be a good sign.
The 1-2. And that evens the count. Strike 3. Gates caught looking. Side retired, but the Athletics come up with 5 runs. Leave no one. To the bottom of the 9th we go. It's now Oakland 11 and Texas 8. Well, we move on to the bottom of the 9th now, which about 15 minutes ago didn't look like it was going to be necessary. Rangers took a 2-run lead into the top of the 9th. Chris Carpenter came on to give up 4 runs and 4 hits in just a third of an inning. Tom Henke giving up a 3-run shot to Terry Steinbach. And Oakland scoring 5 times has taken an 11-8 lead, and Kevin Kennedy trying to find a way for his ball club to come back and pull this one out of the fire. Have a new third baseman for the Oakland Athletics. Scott Heeman has come in to take over for Greg Paquette. Mike Aldretti had pinch hit for Paquette to start off the 9th, and Aldretti got it all started with a base hit. So Odemy McDowell will start things off. Rangers need a big rally here in the 9th inning. McDowell 1 for 4 tonight. Scored a run. He has driven in a run. John Briscoe deals strike 1.
Well, the Rangers with the right people coming up. They got the top of the order, and I'd like to see him get through Rodriguez. He gets 6 batters. I'll take my chances with that.
McDowell showing bunt, and it's strike 2.
Well, this will be hard to swallow. The last couple of nights, not easy, but tonight, even tougher because they took the lead into the 9th.
Call strike 3. McDowell caught looking at the pitch on the inside corner from Briscoe, and that's 1 out.
The pitcher's pitch right here. Boy, they spotted the ball inside. They went in after him and got him.
So Briscoe with the strikeout, 1 away. And Rusty Greer will step in, 1 for 4. Briscoe throwing strikes. It's 0-1. Right-hander back to the plate. That evens the count at a ball and a strike. the outside corner, 2-1. And coming into tonight, the Rangers had lost ball games 7 times when they had taken the lead into the 7th inning. They had lost the ball game 5 times when they had taken the lead into the 8th. And just twice before, they had lost it taking it into the 9th. That is not a good mark, though. 7 times when you take the lead into the 7th inning, come back and lose the game. A strikeout, then a walk, and the Rangers have a runner aboard with 1 out for Jose Canseco. Steinbach out to talk to Briscoe. Canseco tonight 0 for 3. He is grounded out, popped out, and struck out. He's also walked. Jose hitting a 307. Briscoe ready. 1 ball, no strikes. Inside, 2-0. Briscoe all of a sudden having trouble locating home plate.
With Clark being the tying run who is due up next. Rus's pitcher may end up giving Jose Canseco something to hit here.
A fastball in a pretty good spot, however.
Oh, he did.
Down and away. 2-1. Action in the bullpen. Dave Leeper, the left-hander for Oakland. There's a fly ball right field, drifting back to the warning track is Ruben Sierra, and he hauls it in. Well, that is out number 2.
Again, like Canseco, with Clark not being the tying run now, that'd be an opportunity to get something to hit. In fact, of not wanting to walk Clark to get to Gonzalez or walk Canseco to get to Clark. So both Clark and Canseco in good fastball situations.
Well, Clark tonight 1 for 4 with 2 runs driven in. He has assumed the top spot as far as the club goes with runs driven in at 65. One on, 2 out. Rangers down by 3. Low and inside, ball 1. Will Clark, looking at the figures of players starting this evening, would be tied with Joe Carter and Kirby Puckett for the league leadership in RBI. There's a drive, deep center field. Fox at the wall. Goodbye. Clark, home run number 10, and it is an 11-10 Oakland lead.
Well, both Canseco and Clark getting the fastball. Clark not able, or Canseco not able to reach the fences, but Clark does. And another big hit for the Thrill.
That's that's going to do it for John Briscoe. Carlos Reyes will come on to work to Juan Gonzalez. The Rangers trail by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. The Briscoe gone, Reyes coming on, and we will take a timeout on the Ranger Baseball Network.
And with Dennis Eckersley not available, Quentin Kennedy's club with an opportunity here in the last inning. Colonel Roos at Dave Duncan, wondering what's going on.
Well, Juan Gonzalez up. 2 outs, bases empty. Rangers trail 11-10. Juan tonight is 1 for 4. Reyes with the first pitch for strike 1. Juan singled and scored in the second. Simpson is fouled out twice and popped out.
This is probably the best time for Juan to hit with the trouble with men in scoring position or on base.
He pops it up. Shallow left field. Bordick going out. Wynn pushing it back toward the infield, and Bordick puts it away. And Kevin Kennedy has seen his ball club hit a season low by losing its 5th consecutive ball game. Tonight, the final, Oakland 11 and Texas 10. We will total out the books and be back with some final comments. First, our Nissan play of the game. And it came in the top of the 9th inning. Terry Steinbach facing Tom Hinkie with 2 on and 1 out. Ranger lead disappears on 1 swing of Steinbach's bat. His 8th home run of the year to right field, and that sealed the fate of the Rangers. Our Nissan play of the game goes to Terry Steinbach. The game tonight goes to the Oakland Athletics, their 3rd straight over the Rangers here at the ballpark in Arlington. We'll be back with the totals right after.